What's going on, guys? Nothing much, really, right? Today is basically Monday, basically beginning of the week. Currently, we are on our Ray-Bans right now. Um, right now we're just doing some photo uploading. But I figured, why not sit and chat, right? So as we try to get everything uploaded and everything best as possible, we'll do this. But so right. Today's Monday, all that stuff, and I've been trying to get back on the goal of making videos, right? No, couldn't even do that myself. Been having issues with just like even recording, and it's really weird. And the issues with recording have been coming from sorry. My issues with recording have been coming from just like, I don't even know like what to say. Like just like from the phone, I guess. Like having storage is like been my issue. So yeah, I've been trying to get videos and stuff uploaded, but haven't been very successful, you could say, with it. I don't know. Currently, I'm trying to relocate my photos and everything, so I know what I'm posting, because it looks like half my footage transferred to a different file. Yep, by the looks of it, it did actually. That's so nice. So it looks like I will be focusing on this one first. So let me get my Dropbox open. But yeah, I'm gonna switch over to my phone and we'll speak some more on everything that's been going on. We're on the phone. Okay, let me just like get this box uploaded or posted or whatever. Tanjoler B-Day. So basically, like, I've gotten myself recently into working with an entertainment business. They're called Gregos. A group of DJs basically. It's about 5 of them, I believe, and then they have a photographer named Jaden as well, who I just started working with. So I just started working with this entire group of people, like, basically a month ago, like, not that long ago, and it's been going pretty good, honestly. Like, there's been a lot of good opportunities to go out to events, go out to places. Like, I never imagined I would be going out to Boston more than once for an event, especially in 1 week, right? I went out to Boston twice this week for 2 separate events, and the only times I usually have been to Boston have only like mainly been for sports reasons. If you guys are very like frequent on my Instagram and check that out at all, you will notice like my last post is literally in Boston at TD Garden basically. But now with all the stuff that I've been doing with DJs and such, it's starting to turn around, honestly. Like, I've been doing like a lot of stuff where it's just to promote myself and get a better chance for a future, you know? And that's the only thing you can really do as a photographer, or in any position, really, trying to just like advocate for yourself and trying to get yourself out there. Like, if it wasn't for me reaching out to these guys, like, I don't think this opportunity would have really came my way much, or much opportunities at all. Like, if you don't put yourself out there and reach out at all, like, no one's gonna know who you are. Like, and that's the way I've been thinking about it. It's like, no one really knows who I was, or knew who I was when I first started. And to look back from 3 years ago to now, I started my photography journey with people from Oxford. I started with athletes that I played sports with while I was injured. So I worked with that. And fast forward to now, like, I'm doing nightclubs, I'm doing more sports, and I'm working with athletes who are good at their sports. They're good at playing football, they're good at playing basketball, they're good at whatever they do. And I love it. Like, I can't get blamed for that, honestly. But, like, it's all a part of the journey, too. And it comes with, like, a lot of ups and downs, I think, in my opinion. like planning situations, not knowing when to do things, when things are gonna go good or whatever, you know, like there's a lot of possibilities that you never know that could just happen, but they happen. And I'm glad that I searched out for an opportunity for myself. Like, if it, like, I'm being so real. Like, if I didn't do that, like, just reaching out right at this moment, I would only be stuck doing sports. I would be, like, going out Fridays and Saturdays with my friends still, right? But I would be doing sports. I would be going to sports games, taking videos, taking photos, whatever. I wouldn't be exploring other things, other criterias where I could perfect myself in. I wouldn't be into weddings. I wouldn't be into any other settings but sports settings if it wasn't just for allowing myself to reach out, say, hey, I'm okay to do this. I'm okay with putting my time into this. I don't mind it as well, right? And I think this is a very, very common mistake with like photographers, videographers, or anyone who really gets into a business on their own and they're trying to like advocate prices and such so they could get good money, but they're not producing good work or such, right? And I've been in that flow state myself when I first started, and sometimes fall into that flow state here and there. It's more about, right, you need to spend time on the quality of the work that you're producing. Like, doesn't matter what you're editing on. You could edit on Canva, iPhone, Photoshop, Lightroom, all these. There's so many applications to edit, do things on, right? But it matters on how you represent yourself too. Like, if you're just putting out good work but you're not good with people communicating and stuff like that, you're gonna fall. You're not gonna get many clients and such like that. Like, no matter how good your work is, you also have to be good at being a person. You need to be able to talk to someone. You need to be easily able to communicate with. That's what I mean, right? And it's like, that's the one thing I learned within the past 3 years is I need to be easily able to communicate with others, and I need to be fast responding because, right, let's say I got asked, hey, can you come to this game on this day? And I don't respond for a day, and I respond the next day, and they say, hey, I already found someone else. You just lost a client right there because you didn't respond in time. Client-based indicates on response. Especially, they love that. Like, that's how you keep people. That's how you keep people to stay true to you, right? I don't know. That's my opinion. All I know is stay true. Always be good with putting out your work, but also be easy to communicate with. If you're not easy to communicate with, it's just really going to be hard to get any work out really the way that other people may want it. You may be doing it your own way, but if I was an athlete still or whatever, if I was good, right? Which I was never good at sports. But if I wanted photos of me like scoring a touchdown, one-hand catch or whatever, and I never got those, I would show a sign of upset because I'm paying for such quality of work, but I don't receive the quality I'm sort of expecting. Yeah, I'm getting pictures and such, but I'm looking for one thing, and if like I did pull up to performance and did that, right? Got the one-hand catch, got a touchdown, whatever, there should be proof of that. There shouldn't just be highlight proof for Huddle or to show college scouts or what. And that's where it really falls into, honestly. As a photographer, videographer, or anyone that runs their business, just a lot of lines it comes down to. And my biggest line is just being being easy to communicate with. Like, that's just one thing I find very important myself. But yeah. So I've been working with this group of DJs like for a month, whatever. Not that long, honestly, but they have given me a lot of chances to go out to places and stuff, mainly located in Worcester. But since they're getting more events out in Boston and such, it allows me to travel as well with them or even on my own, getting a chance to meet new people, getting a chance to explore new scenery or whatever. Like, I have been to three separate locations, two for photos and videos in Boston. And this is just with my entertainment group. I'm not even talking about sports within the past month. two separate locations. The third location was just like for some random party. It wasn't even with the group. It was just for a friend who was singing because she's an artist, right? But that's one thing, like, working with these guys allowed me to meet people, like, that you don't expect anything out of. Like, I never expected to be able to meet someone who does music, who makes music, right? And they're just beginning their career in the music industry. But as well, they have a career in modeling and dancing. So, like, these expectations of meeting new people and such are very guaranteed, especially when you're committed. Staying committed is just like the best thing you could really do as a person in anything, honestly, even when it comes to relationships, right? And I think that's like where a lot of people fail, honestly, because there's other things, right? You could be very goodly committed with certain things in your life, but other things you could really fall on not being good with. And I think that's honestly happened to every one of us in this world. Like, we have fallen through with our commitments. Like, we haven't fully been committed to something. And the way I think people should look at it is just reflecting on how they could do better, how they could fix it next time, how they could fix it for the next person, how they could fix it for themselves, the business, the company, or whatever, you know? And that's one thing, like, I look at is just reflection. Honestly, like, all my past actions where I have made mistakes, I still look at, and I know, and I acknowledge those facts that I fucked up. I have acknowledged 100 times this year, and it's only been 2 months that I have made so many mistakes. I'm only 19 too, so mistakes are bound to come your way, regardless of your age, regardless of how much knowledge you got in your head, whatever you do. Mistakes are bound to come, honestly, and it's gonna put you down, but it's supposed to also build you up if you reflect on it. Like, I don't know. That's just, like I say, that's just the way I look at it. Like, if you do something bad, like, I'm not gonna say if you kill someone, because that one's really hard to get back from, I'm not gonna lie, but, like, obviously there's separate reasons, like, to come in to kill someone, you know? I don't know. But, let's say, right? I don't know. You got in a fight, whatever, and you beat the person up really badly, and people just started viewing you differently because the way you acted out, and you just, like, controlled yourself in that one moment. People are going to be either scared of you, they're going to be worried about you, or they're going to think that he's not okay or safe to be around, right? And that's true. That is so true. You're going to have very few people, very small percentage of people who are going to want to be around you. And then you're going to have a higher percentage of people who are just going to dislike you, be worried of you, scared to be around you, scared for their own safety. And that's something you can't really, like, blame. That's something you kind of have to, like, fix on your own as a person. Having to put the work in to show that I could change my ways and I don't act this certain way all the time. Right? Right. I don't know. I don't know, man. There's just, like, a lot of things I feel like us as people, humans and such, we don't think about, and I do. I don't know. Like, as of lately, like, I'm not very educated on this, I will admit. But on social media, there's a lot of talk about the Epstein files, about Michael Jackson, about P. Diddy, about Trump, about all this stuff, right? And my personal belief, I was educated on the Michael Jackson investigation when I was young, like when I was 8, 9 years old, because I was a big fan of his music. But I also learned the entire investigation. Fast forward to now, there's a whole new side of the story, and it just, like, it makes sense, right? Because years ago, you would hear that he did this, that to kids. Now you're hearing that he was just more of the protector of kids. You see his name in the files because he was there. He witnessed all these things that was going on, and I don't know. Like I said, my beliefs. Everyone has right to have their opinions. In my saying, honestly, but He witnessed all these things go down and everything, and he tried to put the word out, but he can't put the word out specifically. He can't say they're doing this, and this, because he knows he's going to be killed on spot. And that's what happened. It took time for him to end up getting killed. And it's like, personally, in my opinion, I think the entire, like, high office of people, electives, celebrities and such who are connected with this, they all fall into the scheme of America is just not the safe place. They say it's the land of the free. Man, I hate to do this because I really like this country too. They say it's the land of the free, but it's the land of the free for the people to come here, live here, and then boom, lives are going to be sacrificed and such. So the higher ups stay higher ups, so they can still feel loyalty, so they can still feel wealth and such. But the way that they got there, who knows, right? Well, people do know. There's so many ways people got their fame, their wealth and such. From families, from just doing something when they were young and then continuing it when they were older, like Obama, when he started out in college and advocating on protests and such. Everyone has their ways of doing something. Michael Jackson, my best example right there is he started off when he was young with his family, singing, doing songs and such. And it progressed when he was older, and he kept on doing it and kept on doing good till he passed away. The entire system is a scheme, I believe. And I honestly believe we're just like the rats of the scheme, honestly. I don't know. But, personal opinion, everyone's a right to have their opinions, right? Because freedom of speech, freedom of press, whatever, so is so and so. I know I'm not that educated, but I'm educated enough to know that I have the right to say these things that I'm saying right now. I know I'm educated enough to say that our president in office currently isn't an actual president. I'm educated enough to say that the world that, or the country that we're currently living in, is falling apart currently. And I have the rights to say this stuff. I don't need to back it up to proof, because I'm not arguing against someone currently. I'm not arguing against the Secretary of Defense. I'm not arguing against the president or any so thing. I'm expressing my right as a human to say this and this I believe aren't good. And yeah, there should be reason behind it, because everyone should have a reason to say this and that. Why this is this way, why that's that way. But right now, I don't think the world deserves a reason. But, I don't know. Currently, I'm just sitting here talking to a YouTube video, or a video I'm going to make for YouTube. Because there's, like, nothing to really do. Just contemplate life, really. That's literally all I'm doing, is just contemplating life best as possible. We're trying to figure out everything on my own. Trying to, I don't know, fix shit, I guess. I don't know, there's a lot of things that my head's been going through within this month, and even last month as well. But that's not a reason to stop myself from what I'm doing. Not a reason to say this life isn't for me. And sure, hell enough, not a good reason to just give everything up. What people are going through is definitely, I would say, worth a fight. Worth fighting for change, personally. Especially if you, I don't know, as a person who has made hundreds of mistakes, thousands of mistakes, and regrets and reflects on them every day of his life, I think the best thing I can do as a person is just show that I care. Yeah, just show that I care about fixing my ways. And I don't know. I really do care about fixing my ways and trying to change everything for myself. So, hoping by the time I turn 20, like, things are turning around, that I'm doing my own thing, that, I don't know, that maybe I'll be in love again or some shit. Like, I have so many things that are going, and they're not going bad, I will say, but I want things to be going perfect and have those happy moments again where I could honestly generally feel loved by people and not feel easily down when in the space of hundreds, if that makes sense. I think I got too personal there. Personally though, I don't think anyone cares enough though to pay attention to a whole thing as much as they used to back then. I don't think anyone really watches whole clips, whole videos much, or even read a whole story either. Like, I personally don't think this video I'm gonna post, someone's gonna watch from the beginning to the end. They're gonna hear this entire thing. They're gonna listen to 5 different things being talked about, right? You never know. There's a lot of possibilities, and I don't know, possibilities that aren't bountiful to be answered, really. Just more of you having to find the answer out on your own. But that's the way life is, and there's nothing wrong with that. I like life to be mysterious. I like life to be a mystery, honestly, because no matter how bad it could get, something good is bound to come your way, I believe, and that's why I still fight for a search. And I believe everyone should still fight for a reason, because no matter what you may be dealing with currently, going through, how hurt you've been put, how hurt you are, how hurt you were, how hurt, whatever, all these words, right? No matter what, like, you experience in life, like, I think everyone deserves a chance to grow up and change and be able to fix themselves, be able to look back and say, hey, that wasn't right. But yeah, personal belief, in my opinion. But have a great night, have a good morning, good afternoon, good day. Who knows? Because regardless or not, this is on YouTube. You don't watch it at a certain time. You watch it whenever you want. So, appreciate you guys. From the Meta Ray Bands to Lewis to LV Shot It. Back to Lewis for today. Have a good night.